Is addiction a mental illness? Does it qualify as mental illness? If so, do you treat it as such? Is that how you cure it, or is that how you manage it and cope with it? And if not, what do you do so that you can function and not be dominated by your addictions?
I'll do anything. I'll be a good boy.
I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist and co-founder of Mended. Let's address this head on. The DSM-5, which is known as the Big Book of Mental Disorders, has entire sections on substance abuse and other types of addictions, but the DSM-5 has mental illness, personality disorders, and substance abuse. There's 3 different things. Substance abuse does not qualify as mental illness. They are 2 different things. That said, there is some overlap, especially when it comes to treatment. You can be genetically predisposed to abuse and addiction, and that can be triggered or brought on by experience. And I guess if we're talking about addiction, it's not just substances, is it? People can be addicted to gambling, they can be addicted to pornography, they could be addicted to online gaming, they could be addicted to shopping, eating, all sorts of compulsions where we lean on certain behaviors to help us cope with life.
It's a disease, Leon.
Yeah, man. Look, admitting you have a problem is the first step.
The fact is, if we are looking at addiction as the problem, then we miss the bigger picture. People get addicted to things because they're unhappy. Addiction is a symptom. It's not the actual problem. The problem is unhappiness. And so you've probably heard that the cure for addiction isn't sobriety, it's connection. We'll get into that in a second, but how do we treat addictions? I'm going to talk to you about cigarettes. And I'm going to tell you how you would actually overcome smoking, but you can apply these principles to drinking, pornography, online gaming, compulsive eating, all the things that we talked about. So I am certified by the American Lung Association in their Freedom from Smoking course group thing. That's what it's called. Freedom from Smoking course group thing. I'm smart. I have a master's degree. I use English. So in the Freedom from Smoking course, they talk about, a lot of people say, well, I need to quit smoking. The problem is nicotine. So boom, nicotine patch. Okay, just gotta wait for a few weeks for this to kick in. That's not really working. Give me another, another. And suddenly, you know, there's like it's like a tat sleeve, right? It's like a tat sleeve of just nicotine patches as they're just like trying to manage. The reason that doesn't work is because the addiction is more than just physical. It's more than just chemical. There is a psychological component, an emotional component, and a social component to this as well. In order to be free from smoking, you have to address all across the board. So if I have a problem with cigarettes or with chew and I'm trying to break this habit, yes, I can start with a nicotine patch or the gum to take the edge off and give me that little burst of nicotine. But the fact is, I smoke when I'm stressed. I smoke when I'm unhappy. I smoke when I'm bored. I smoke after sex. I smoke when I'm excited. I smoke to celebrate, right? I have all of these emotions that my body says, okay, time to smoke. This is how you deal with this emotion, right? This is what you do. And so the key for that is going to be healthy replacements. If I am bored, instead of smoking, what am I going to do? If I'm bored, instead of watching porn, or instead of gambling online, or instead of being like, okay, I need to hit the local fast food joint and supersize everything, like, what am I going to do if I'm bored? If I'm sad, what am I going to do instead to take the sadness away? What is something healthy and productive? You need to have a very specific plan of how you're going to manage your emotions instead of turning to the quick fix of whatever the addiction is.
Anyway, you used to smoke.
I know I used to smoke. That's when I didn't know any better. Now I do. Your mother made me stop too.
So that's the emotional component. Then there's the psychological component. And the psychological component is, what are my habits, right? I smoke coffee and cigarettes in the morning, right? Coffee and cigarettes with my breakfast. And I do this morning, I do it at lunch, I take a smoke break at 10:30. At 3:30, this is when I do it. You know, if I'm watching SportsCenter, I have my cigarette. Okay, so this is when this happens. And now my mind is just trained that these are the times that I smoke.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
To break that, you need to develop new habits. And that once again comes down to healthy replacements. I know people who have successfully quit smoking, and the absolute key, the thing that they swear by, is DUMS. You know, like the little suckers, because this motion, their brain associates this motion with relief of stress, or with feeling happy, or with not feeling sad anymore, or this is what I do at breakfast, or this is what I do at lunch. I need to do this motion because it's so built in, and if I don't, it's going to drive me crazy. So they replace it with DUMS. That's the psychological component. And then there's the social component. My friends and I pass the cigarette around, right? Or we go on a smoke break together and we're all hanging out. Sharing cigarettes is when I talk to people. And the people that I'm close to, they all smoke, right? And so it's hard to quit. Are you seeing more and more why just the Nicorette gum and the patches don't cut it on their own? Because you need to attack this from all angles. People who are quitting smoking sometimes need new friends. Or sometimes it's their friends recognize, hey, you're trying to quit, good for you, I wish I could. So I'm gonna smoke when you're not around. And if you ask me for a cigarette, I'm gonna say no. And that's how we maintain our friendship.
Ready, steady, go.
When it comes to your addictions, whatever they may be, you need to attack them from multiple angles. It can't just be the physical component, right? If I'm addicted to pornography and masturbation, I could think, well, I'll just go have sex with my partner and that'll cure it. But the thing is, there's added components to this, right? This is what I do when I'm sad. This is what I do when I'm stressed. This is what I do when I'm bored. Some people watch porn because it's easier. Because actually having a fulfilling sexual relationship with someone takes energy and work, not just in the techniques and in the time spent in foreplay, but also in building a relationship of connection that allows for true intimacy and that allows for actual lovemaking to occur. The simple fact is, whether it's porn or gambling or eating junk food, when we talk about healthy replacements, if I replace Cheetos with baby carrots. I had a friend one time, I'm like, baby carrots are just nature's Cheetos, is what I said. And my friend says, well, nature loses, right? Because Cheetos are so much better, but not better for you. Cheetos don't do a damn thing for your eyesight, just so you know. But the thing is, like healthy replacements, you don't get the little buzz that you get from doing something wrong. If I eat a whole bag of Cheetos, I get a little thrill because I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, I really shouldn't be doing this. Oh, these are the fiery ones. Yeah, oh, I'm such a bad boy, right? You get this little thrill. If I steal something, like if I buy a candy bar and eat it, I get the pleasure of eating it. But if I steal it, I get that little rush, right? Same thing with gambling. Doing something that seems wrong or forbidden, there's a little buzz that comes from it that you don't get from doing what's right. Doing what's right gives you peace. Doing what's wrong gives you a little buzz, and that's why we keep turning to it. And in order to have a healthy, happy life, there are things that give you buzz. There's thrill seeking, there's skydiving, there's, mountain biking, there's all sorts of stuff. But the fact is, like, part of kicking compulsive habits and addictions is saying goodbye to the little thrill of doing something wrong. It's mourning that that's not going to be a part of your life anymore because you are choosing something better for yourself. If you are addicted, it's not a mental illness. But there is a similarity in the sense that the brain has been wired a certain way, and in order to heal, it needs to be rewired. And the best way to approach that is by finding healthy replacements and by attacking your addiction from the angles of the physical component, the emotional, the psychological, and the social, and finding healthy replacements for all these things.
Thank you for not smoking.
Now, I want to hear from all of you in the comments. What helps you manage your addictions, or has helped you to break addiction? If you've been through this, what advice do you have? If you're struggling with this, what questions do you have? Sound off in the comments below. We will answer, but you can also interact there and we can all help each other. I also want to direct you to our next video, How Does Social Media Affect Your Mental Health? The link is right here below. Now, if you don't know where to turn to us. Here at Mended Light, our entire mission is helping you recover from the dark places and step back out into the light. We want you to have that light inside of you so you can shine it to the world to be the best version of you. So, until next time, I'm Jonathan Decker, signing off.